I see it now. Hopefully it's a little bit better, maybe a little bit less there. Hopefully that's good. All right. Um Hello. Oh yes. I need a light here. Give me 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's a little bit better light. Um cool. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. Really excited to uh have this live stream today. Was not necessarily planning to do it, but then I looked at my calendar and schedule, and kind of like everything else, and yeah, I needed to get it going. I'm trying to do it once a month so that you guys can ask questions. We're gonna put the timestamps as well, so I'll be doing that. Make sure to put your questions in the comments, and we'll be chatting there. We'll be having a good time. So most recent phone that I reviewed was the Kyocera Dura XA. Good phone. A lot of as they call it, business tools. Kind of goes there into the apps that you're able to install. So a lot of versatility with this device. Personally, like it a lot. I have also been testing the Bigme Hibreak, so we'll be going over that as well. A couple of updates on the Sunbeam F1. They had actually a lot of updates. I can showcase that in just a second. And they've been doing a lot of updates on their devices, so that's always something that's welcome. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below, and then we'll go over that. We're gonna start with the Bigme Hibreak. Still testing it, so it's an e-ink device. I think it's really good. I think it's actually a very good device. But it does have some things that I cannot recommend it 100%. But I'll do a review and a few things. So let's go over this device first. So this is the Bigme Hibreak. It's a smartphone. However, it does have a e-ink screen. So it's kind of like nice. It does have all of the apps and availabilities, things like that. But at the same time, like, you have the recognition. Let me put this a little bit further. There you go. You have the recognition that it's e-ink, so it's a little bit slower. I'll showcase a couple of things. You can install different launchers. I have Niagara here, but as you see, there's a lot of ghosting. So that's one of my main issues with this device. It is the amount of ghosting that it has. Also, you can set up other apps as your main launcher. It usually goes back to the default launcher. And a lot of their software, so a lot of the software that they have is kind of based out of their tablets. Let me put this a little bit further on that. Ooh, that's a little too much. There you go. +1. That should be good. Yes. Yeah, so as I was saying, there's a lot of good things on the software side of things. However, I think a lot of their software is from their tablets and not necessarily their software. You can adjust the color in a lot of these settings. You can do, kind of like magazine, comic, video. We can make a custom one. And if you want it to be a warmer color, the contrast, as you see right there, the contrast went way up. Vivid enhancement, you can do different things. The color brightness, how it works. They have different settings for a lot of these things. Auto clean, anti-shake, full refresh frequency if you want to have it every half the time. So there's a lot of customization that you can do. I personally like the panel. I think it's really nice. You can send messages and download apps. You can use Google Maps as well. But it does have a lot of ghosting on this color e-ink version. The color is definitely muted. I mean, I guess I'll show you what an LCD screen looks like. Let's go to Maps and kind of compare. So like, here, let's see. Maps, where are you? Maps. So this is a smartphone, full smartphone, right? That's the color, and this is the color that it has the on the Bigme, right? So the Bigme has definitely a lot less color, lot less vivid, but it's pretty smooth. I mean, like, of course it is e-ink, so it's not going to be the smoothest ever, but it's pretty smooth, and you can tell, a lot of the things. So I personally like that. I personally like e-ink screens because they're easier on your eyes, and you just have like a better time overall. So I personally appreciate that. Google Maps works great without any issues. You can find directions, and like get to whatever destination you want. You can also load, organic maps or offline maps if that's what you're into. And yeah, I personally think that that's a good thing to have the option, and to be able to just kind of like do different things with the device. Um, and yeah, I think like having the versatility, but still some of the limitation on the e-ink screen helps a lot. I'm here typing a few things, so give me 1 second. And I think it's a good kind of like baseline that you can use to say like, okay, this device, if it works in my area, maybe it's something that I want. So this is kind of like a successor to the Hisense A9, and that device is definitely more limited here in the United States. Here in the United States, this device has been working with with T-Mobile without any issues, and I haven't had any issues. I've been working it out with it, and I personally enjoyed it. Enjoyed my time using it. Let's look over a video, so so you can see how it works. I'm gonna lower the volume. I'll just look for a video for myself. Oh, let me show you the typing experience. So it's just like any other kind of like smartphone. You have a QWERTY keyboard. It does have some, like, it misses some strokes, and like, or the refresh is not as fast. So some of them will be missed, but the typing experience is really, really fine and really easy. Here it is. Let's go over the Kyocera support video and show you how it works. Yeah. All right. Come on. Okay. Let me put it in big mode, or kind of like a bigger experience. So there it is. Talking about Kyocera and how it doesn't have any WhatsApp anymore. Bad news, for the Kyocera enthusiasts. But this is how it looks. It refreshes. I mean, of course, it has a lot of if you see right here, it does have like a lot of ghosting in the colors, and like the rendering is not perfect, right? But the reproduction, that's the color of the shirt. My skin tone, you can distinguish it. It's definitely washed, and like you kind of have that feeling. But if you really needed to watch a video, like if you wanted to get the information more and you needed maybe to see a visual or something like that, then I definitely think it's something that could be helpful. Could be helpful. Not necessarily that. It will be helpful. You can install pretty much any app. As you see right there, Antenna Pod is kind of like my tester app. Things that I've, kind of like been listening to. Then I actually will showcase something that I've been listening to that I'm still not done because it's like a 2.5 hour interview, but it's something that's quite important. Then you have the Aurora store, which you can get a lot of apps from, and that's just helpful, having the Aurora store. And you have a Google Play Store by default, so if you want to use the Google Play Store, I don't like using the Google Play Store, especially on devices that are not from the United States. Like, when they come overseas, like I'm like, I don't want to look into the data privacy and like that kind of stuff. Hopefully it requests a session and it authenticates it. If it doesn't, then that's okay. So you have the Aurora store, you have the Play Store. You can install pretty much any app that you want. Still timing out. So probably we're going to have to go to Droidify. So I just show you like, okay, here's an app store, and you can find like, the different VPNs and that kind of stuff. Something that let me see if I can show it to you without compromising any security or privacy about that. Yeah, I think that's possible. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let me double check. So there is a analytics. Perfect. There it is. So this is the Next DNS. So I've talked about it before. So on Next DNS, you have the ability to block queries. So if your phone is communicating with something that you don't want it to communicate, or you want to block services or apps or whatever, you have the ability to do that. And as you see right here, it's very chatty. This phone, I installed Next DNS in it, and it's extremely chatty with QQ, which is a kind of like a Chinese search engine. I don't look up anything in QQ, but it still sends requests for QQ. So that's a concern. Definitely mitigated with the reality of just having the kind of like availability. Oh, wait. Sorry. That should have been there. So again, you have, if you're a privacy concerned person and you want to get the Bigme Hibreak, then I highly recommend that you install NextDNS, because it had like 1,000 queries in the past week that it's just been blocking, right? So if in the past week it has allowed, here, let me show you the statistics again. So like in the past week, it has allowed 5,000 queries, right? So it has allowed 5,000 entries to go through, no problem. I don't have any issues. But it blocks 1,000. That means like 20% of the queries are to things that you don't want, right? Like ads or information from, other areas that you may not be comfortable with. So 18%, 18.12% is what should be blocked, what should have been blocked. And again, like I think, yeah, so install NextDNS on this phone if you get it, because you want your data to be protected. So that's a little bit of kind of like just something to know, something to kind of like to understand. What else can I say? It does have a browser. You can browse the web. Not many issues. You can modify the screensaver to have a clock or display something. They have other versions that are more like just kind of like, oh yeah, you can see whatever it is. It times out pretty quickly, so it saves a lot of battery. That is definitely a pro of this device. It does have a good battery life. I've been testing in 2 to 3 days essentially. I tested over the weekend. I got it on Friday, and it lasted me until Sunday without any issues. I recharged probably like Sunday, maybe mid-morning, like around 8, 9. So like, yeah, I just kind of like put it back to charge. And it's been alive since then. Of course, I took out my SIM. I went back to a different setup. But it's been alive, since Sunday. Now it's Tuesday and still has 61%. So their standby is pretty good, especially if you don't have any service. If you're pinging, it's definitely going to decrease a little bit. So more of like the 2 to 3 day. Yeah, more like the 2 to 3 day standpoint right there. So yeah. Let me open a new window so we can have a fresh window to kind of go over announcements and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you have any questions about this device, make sure to put them in the comments below, and then I will be interacting with you guys on the live chat and going over questions. We'll start questions in maybe like about 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, if we have like maybe 2, 3, that would be great. Okay, so that's the Bigme. Let's go over updates on the Sunbeam F1. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Now we are at 14 minutes. 15. Just put a 15 right here. Sunbeam F1, Cat S22, and Kyocera phones. That's fine. Yep. So Sunbeam F1, as you know, one of my preferred companies. They're definitely always on top of their updates. There are no updates available apparently. Because I just started updating, the other day, and earlier today, I think there's a new thing called Optimize Apps. Am I even showing you what yes. So, but they had like a series of updates in the last few weeks. Maybe I can show you on their website. Probably that'll be the best, easiest way. Let's go over Sunbeam Wireless and let's go to support updates. Yes, there it is. So in the last Pro Series update here in July 2024, let me show you the website now. There it is. Yep. So they allow manually editing Rogers, Bellus, Telus, so a lot of the Canadian T-Mobile APNs. They added international roaming support for Ultramobile, US Mobile, Ting, Mint, and Tello. They set optimization to run after the update, and they included the last software updates. Before that, let's see. Before that, they had fixed a bug. I mean, as you see here, it's like all of the updates since release. So January 2020, they had bugs. March 27, APN for AT&T SIM cards, music player. June 2024. And I guess they did an update to the launcher. I haven't seen that, but I need to type speed. So let's do it here on our let's do it here on our device and see how much it changes. So I'm supposed to go to dialer, I guess. No, not there. Speed. And then call. Oh. Yeah, maybe. Nope. Didn't do anything. It says new system update. Let's see. Maybe I have it installed. Oh, I do not have it installed. I think it's going to download it. Yes. Okay, so download. Yeah. So it's going to download, and I guess it's going to change a little bit of the launcher update. I'll probably, as you see, it's kind of like doing it right there. So we're gonna just wait and kind of eventually do that. Yes, so a lot of updates from the Sunbeam F1. Sunbeam F1, great company, and definitely they have had few things done since 2020, since the release in last year, or like kind of like early this year. They actually released it more like early this year. So if you have any questions about that, make sure to put it in the comments below. Kyocera, they have a new update incoming for the T9. I talked about this on my review. Right now, it kind of sucks. It's not the best, but they are listening, and as you see right there, typing on this thing and then selecting is like, oh, okay, well, this is super annoying, but it does have the prediction. So the prediction mode is going to be updated, fully revamped, and is going to be way faster. Coming, I believe they just released something on the web about this. Let me see, Kyocera update. They have so many products. Kyocera, Business Wire. Okay. News, maybe it's today. They literally just talked about it today. Oh, here it is in Yahoo Finance, right? So, yeah, I talked to them a few days ago, and like, here it is. Okay, let's go to the screen capture. Okay, so further adding to the flip phone appeal, Kyocera will be launching its new exclusive predictive text software upgrade designed specifically for the company's feature phones this summer. So in the next few weeks, they're going to be talking about that. The new and improved predictive texting on the DirectStream and XA enables faster and more accurate texting and emails by minimizing user dependence on navigation keys. Remarkably improved prediction word suggestions, utilizing 0 for cycling through words and 8 and pound for space functionality. The enhanced word contraction and capitalization, and an improved My Words custom dictionary feature that will help make texting and emailing on the DirectStream Plus easier. And then they talk about other stuff, yada yada yada. This comes from like Business Wire, Yahoo Finance. So that's kind of like what they have right now on that. So updates, if you got the Kyocera DirectX or DirectX Plus, then more updates to you. It's coming soon. What else? Cat S22. No updates on this one, but actually an update on, I've been charging this. So Cat S22, as you know, one of the favorites of the Dumbphone community. This is one of the most used kind of like smart devices in between, transition, whatever you want to call it. I call it transition devices because it's kind of like in the middle, in between, you know, some of these functionalities and whatnot. But there is a website that I thought that it was extremely helpful. S22 wiki, essentially. I'm going to have to find it on the Reddit. So this device has a new kind of like somebody created a website that is super. It's kind of like a repository of all the information that you need on the Cat S22, and I wanted to update you guys on that because he includes a lot of the fixes and a lot of these other kind of like knowledge base, database, and I definitely think that it was yeah, I think it was like very, very, very good. Let me see. This is, where is it? Aha, here it is. Is it here? Okay, it's loading. Okay, come on. Yes. No, this is not the one. I'm gonna try to find it. But essentially, this is a guide. I'll show you the guide at least. So the Cat S22 sometimes can be really, really stressful to use because it double taps or it has like, you know, some bugs here and there. So it's sometimes it can be frustrating. But this page right here, make your Cat S Flip 22 a little less painful to use. He kind of goes through how to fix the keyboard, installing Alt-9, you know, downsides of it, the bloating the phone, keeping the media playback from canalizing your notifications. Again, like, so you have a lot of like many little different things that can help you customize it. There is a guide as well on text if you want to kind of like go into that. There's also a place to go for Cat S22 information on this sub, kept up by Shaner41. So he has definitely kept a lot of that kind of like repository of information on the Cat S22. And there's a lot of reviews that you can read through and like, you know, how to connect your Garmin or do this or have RCS. So there's a lot of very useful guides on the Cat S22. And I kind of wanted to provide just kind of like, hey, if you have a Cat S22, make sure that you go check those guides out. As you know, the Cat S22 has the ability to pretty much install anything. As you see, it's like essentially a smartphone, but it's so small that it's kind of like super frustrating to use. And as you see right there, it has the Play Store, so you can install pretty much anything. I'm offline for some reason. Let me see if it catches my Wi-Fi. It should. Yeah, there it is. Come on. Okay, for some reason it's not wanting to connect to Wi-Fi, so I don't know what's going on. But like I said, you can run pretty much any app that you want. Have antenna pod right there, and everything should run pretty smoothly, you know, and have like that kind of ability to have. I guess a lot of notifications are coming, even though I don't have Wi-Fi, but that's okay. So yeah, Cat S22 updates, a lot of updates on the Sunbeam F1. I'll probably make an update. I'll probably make a full-blown video on installing the new launcher and kind of like doing some of these quality of life improvements on the Sunbeam F1. But you know, as like I said, this is one of the companies that I personally like, the Sunbeam Wireless, because they keep up with their devices and update them timely, which is something that sadly not a lot of companies do. So yeah, it's something that, you know, you should kind of keep in mind. And when you purchase a Dumbphone, remember you get what you pay for. Okay, let's go over a Q&A, first Q&A, and then we'll go over new projects. So there are some couple coming up projects. Let's go over. Let's see a couple of questions here and there. Let's see, it is 25 minutes. So yeah, we spent 10 minutes on these updates. That's pretty good. Q&A 1. Meanwhile, we wait for that to come over. Okay. Jose has an insider friend at HMD. Any hint at the Barbie phone release? I believe it's in like the next 2 weeks or so. They said anytime before September that they will release it, and I have been told. I don't know how much it has changed since I've been told, but let me Google it for you guys. It's going to be a 2660. Yeah, so it's going to be sometime in the next 2-3 weeks, and it's going to kind of like have that pink, that kind of stuff. It's going to be a 2660 revamped. So if you know what the 2660 is, let me show you. Right here. So it's essentially going to be the 2660, from what I've been told. And it's a pretty basic phone, and that's good. That's a good thing. But yeah, anytime like between this week and like the end of August, that's when it's going to be coming out. I believe they hit a delay or something like that in production, and of course they wanted to time it well with whatever it is that their campaign wanted to kind of go into. Yeah, it's kind of like that's the hint that they gave me. There is a follow-up. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Does that person have info where it's released, like the US? It's going to be released in Europe for sure. And they're considering releasing in the US, but they are still not sure. So something I've been told is that making the changes and certifications for a lot of these feature phones. So as you see, like they just released a new feature phone, the HMD 105s, which is kind of like a ripoff of the Nokia 105. So let's go over, where is it? Nokia 105, right? An older version of the Nokia 105. So let's see, they don't have it anymore here. Yeah. So they essentially just ripped off like an older Nokia 105 and 110. Now they're selling them. So essentially HMD is not really interested in the US market because of the certifications. They're saying that it's just too expensive, and they're not really interested in like certifying all of their devices. They'll rather just get them out of factory and sell them to a lot of people in like Asia and Latin America, and sell them for Europe. I think it's a bummer. I think it's a mistake. I think they should release at least a couple of devices. What they've been doing is releasing a lot of these cheaper devices on TrackPhone and like that kind of stuff, but they're not releasing a good device, and I think that they should just release one good device and kind of go for it. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on the HMD question. Okay, let's continue. Fedmeister asks, is the Titan Pocket still worth buying if you want a dumbish phone with WhatsApp now? Yeah, I think so. Let's show you what that looks like. So let's go to Amazon, Unihertz, Titan, what is it, Pocket? That's what you said, right? Yeah, Titan Pocket. Yeah. So this is the Titan Pocket. It's a QWERTY device. I think I still have one. No, I gave it away. Which giveaway incoming next week? Yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it next week. So probably with my review of the Bigme, I will post my giveaway. So I have a lot of phones that I need to give away. And should I do a live giveaway? I'll think about it. Anyways. So we have the Unihertz Titan's Pocket. It's Android 11, so it's a little bit dated, but you can you can customize it, and you can install better and more updated portions. I think that if you want a small screen, I think it works and it does get the job done. The other recommendation that I'll have if you want the small screen is the Jelly Star. So the Jelly Star is very, very, very extremely frustrating to use. I definitely don't recommend anyone to like have this kind of stuff. So if you're looking for something that is super tiny, then I highly recommend the Jelly Star, and it works with T-Mobile and Verizon. So Jelly Star versus the Titan Pocket, I think you can go either way. If you really want QWERTY, if you want that feel, that tactile feel, yeah, go for it. Go for that, and definitely, something that you should look into. This is the Jelly Star. It's super tiny, and it's really frustrating to use. So I don't recommend you putting a lot of this crazy things. So like, yeah, it's just kind of like you can put a lot of the apps, but because of the screen is so small, it's not going to be useful. And this I use for work, and sometimes a couple of different things here and there. Okay, good. Let's see. Still on the update. Kribea asks, what device is this actually? I don't know which device you're referring to. Maybe the Bigme Hibreak. Is that what you're referring to? If you were, this is a device that has been released the last few weeks. So let's go to Bigme Hibreak. It is a color e-ink device. The density and color reproduction is not the most amazing, but it does do it. So it gets the job done if that's what you're looking into. This is the device. It's about $219. So, a little bit less of a kind of like financial investment. But you can go into the color version. There are apparently 598 left. Estimated delivery on July 10th, even though that passed. That's probably just a mistake on their website. And they have, 741 of the non-color only e-ink. It's definitely not going to look like that. So as you see right there, that's probably a simulated screen. It's not going to be that rich. The colors are very muted, and you can definitely see something in it. You can increase the contrast maybe to get a little more like, oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit better, but it's not going to be the best device in the world. Okay, let's continue with our Q&A. Stand up. Yes. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Everything helps a little bit. Really, really appreciate that. So have you heard anything about the TinyPod case? If it's legit, it will be great for me because if I message Mass Music, what do you think of it? Yes, it is legit. I have been in TinyPod. Let's go over that. So the TinyPod case is real. Oh no, that's different TinyPod. Let's see if case. Let's see, TinyPod case. There it is. The TinyPod. That's what it is. So this is the case for the kind of like Apple Watch. So if you're interested in putting your Apple Watch and having a lot of the functionality like phone, music, messaging, weather, news, voice memos, photos, calendar, maps, calculator, podcasts, audiobooks, Siri, and more. Essentially anything that's available for the actual Apple Watch, you will be able to have it on this case. And then, of course, like you can scroll and kind of have navigation and, that kind of stuff. It's just a case. So it's nothing like, you're not doing anything crazy or super special. It's just a case for your Apple Watch. And it's a decent price. I think, you have the TinyPod Lite, which doesn't have a scroll wheel. And then you have the TinyPod regular, which does have a scroll wheel, and that is $79. And you can choose your watch size, right? So like if you have the Ultra, or you have the 45, or you have the 41. There are a lot of issues, in my opinion, with this. And the number one issue is going to be battery life. So unless you have a Ultra, which is the biggest one, your battery life is going to be compromised whenever you do not have your iPhone on you, right? So that is going to be very difficult, and unless you have the Ultra, the battery life is going to be limited, right? So in theory, it does have a lot of access to, your apps and podcasts and timer, right? Like, it's a lot of features. And I think it's a novel idea. And if you just want to disconnect, then I definitely think that it's good. The problem is like mail on an Apple Watch. Let's be honest here. Like, come on. No, that's not going to happen. Maybe a very quick email, but no, like it's just not. Weather, yeah, that's fine. Reading the news, do you really want to read on that screen? Probably not, but yes, if you want to get updated. Voice memos, that's fine. Photos, seeing photos of somebody else, you're not going to be able to take pictures. So I think they just included that. It's like, oh, you'll be able to check out your pictures. But why would you check out your pictures? I mean, this is calendar, maps. I think they just put everything just that they could simulate on the screen. That's probably what will happen. Maps. Okay, let's talk about this. Because I did an experiment, right? I have a video about, and there are videos out there talking about the let's call it here, Apple Watch as a phone. Yeah, there you go. So there are videos right there that talk about the Apple Watch as a phone from a year ago. I did an experiment myself with the Apple Watch as my only device, and I highly recommend that you watch some of these, and some of them are more positive than others, but honestly, like it's complex. It's complicated. Like, don't make it seem like it's going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be the best thing ever. No, there are some things that are going to be frustrating. You will be able to have access to some of these extra smart features, but it's just not going to be the best experience just because, like, number one, it's not made for that. It's made to be on your wrist, and it's honestly made as an accessory than it is for you to like, okay, yes, I'm going to go into my audiobooks. Yes, I'm going to do this. So a lot of audio and like phone calls and messaging, if that's all you need, great. You're not going to put mail in this. It's not really useful. Yeah. So again, there's a lot of like good novel things, really, really cool, amazing things. They have, I guess, a really nice video kind of showcasing all the capabilities. But yeah, no, I think you need to go for the Ultra if you really want multiple day battery life. And if you don't, then it's going to just be like a more wonky experience in my perspective. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it more. More questions, make sure to leave it there. So Stan, if you need a tiny pot, if you think you're going to make it work, absolutely. Go for it. No problem. I think that's going to be a good alternative. And if you want iMessage, but you want it on a, like, for example, if you want it on like a Jelly Star, just use text.com. Text.com. You can use it on the desktop, and like connect it to Beeper also. Like you also have Beeper as another option right there. Okay. Next question is, let's see if this updated. Okay, let's see. Let's try it. Speed. Okay. Speed. Nothing changed. Sorry. I'm trying to. SPEED. Call. I seem to have the latest update, but I don't see any like major differences to the launcher. So I don't know what they mean by the new launcher for the Sunbeam wireless account. So it doesn't look different. Let's optimize apps. I don't know. Updates. Maybe they mean it's faster. Let's see. If your phone slows down after the update, install the launcher update and dial speed from the home screen. I see. So if it bugs out, like if it has like a little bit of like, whatever. Okay, so it's just not going to be different. It's just going to be fast, if something happens. Okay, cool. It does have a diagnostic tool now. I hadn't seen that before. So it's probably going to be like, oh, is your RAM better? Like yada, yada, yada. Error description, take screenshot for assistance, support, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so no new things. Okay, let's continue with our Q&A. According to someone about the Barbie phone, before that. Do you know any phone that has J2ME support? That is 4G? No, there are no 4G J2ME phones as far as I know. Maybe I'm mistaken on that, but if I remember correctly, there are no J2ME 4G phones available in the market that you can buy. They're all gone, essentially. According to someone about the Barbie phone, it will be crazy not to release it in the US. I agree. But I'm telling you that last time I checked, they said that they didn't want to go through a certification. I agree. I think they should, and I think they will. But going through a certification is harder, and that's, kind of a thing. I've understood that the Bigme doesn't have a warm backlight. That is correct. I thought it did. I actually replied to somebody that I thought it did, but it doesn't. It doesn't have a warm, stuff like that. Steven says, I use my Apple Watch as my daily driver and leave my phone at home most days. It's fine that I can access the news. That's why I do it. Yeah, that's good. The bigger issue is that you have to deactivate wrist detection, which basically leaves your Apple Watch unsecured. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's not good. But, I mean, hopefully you don't lose it, and hopefully somebody doesn't take advantage of that. So, yeah. That's a little bit of a bummer that it doesn't have. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Somebody says, continued the understanding. It says view or update on minimal phone. Yes, I have a view. I think I shared it with you guys before. It hasn't changed. So, has a lot of, things here. Technically, they're saying they're shipping in October 2024 for the batch 2. How accurate that is, I don't know. They haven't shared any kind of updates. I haven't seen any videos of their prototypes. They seem to have definitely a lot of things that are revised and revamped. So connectivity, productivity, durability, sure, a lot of mock-ups, a lot of nice things. But to be frank with you, I still haven't seen a video. Once I see it, that'll be great. I believe they said under Indiegogo, minimal phone. So if I remember correctly, they said under Indiegogo on their latest update that 4 days ago. Oh, okay. Perfect. Look at that. Very timely. So dear backers, am I showing you that? Yes. Perfect. So dear backers, we're pleased to provide an update on Indiegogo backers. We're still on schedule. Over the next 1 to 2 weeks, our team will be traveling back to China to finalize the surface treatments, color applications, material, textures of the phone, and to conduct quality control checks on the mold process. Currently, we're in the process of debugging the PCBA board, and the T0 mold fabrication is set to complete it this week. Here they show you the different components. Are these components real? Yeah, so for what I see, it's actually very doable. Very nice engineering scheme right here. The primary challenge we face involves the interface between the MTK chipset and display. Understood. Very, very. I can see that. I can see why that would happen. Making a phone is hard. Let's just say it like that. The debugging of the conversion kit required to ensure compatibility between these components has proven to be more complex than initially expected, which we all said that setting up a realistic deadline was important. At least they're communicating. We're making significant headway, and this issue is close to a solution. This has caused a delay in obtaining a fully operational engineering sample, but our manufacturer has assured us that we're still on track to receive our engineering validation test sample by mid-August. We appreciate your continued support, yada, yada, yada. Not gonna lie, this is the first time that I read this, and I'm like, this was maybe not written by a chatbot. Like, all of the other ones had like, like this thing that it was like less human for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical, but whatever. So before that, in June, they said that they were doing the PCBA debugging and they were getting engineering samples in the coming weeks. That was in 29 days ago, so about 30 days ago. Apparently, they had another delay, which is normal. It's happening. Supposedly, they were going to ship in August 2024. I feel like that's when they said. Was it September or August? I don't remember. I don't recall the exact. Yeah, like I don't remember the exact day or whatnot, but at least they're communicating. That's a little bit. That is something. I would like to see a video. I would like to see a video once they get the engineering sample. And I have said multiple times, if I see a working demo of a device, then I am definitely going to be more willing to say I am going to I'm going to pre-order it because I think it's a cool device, but I just don't know if it's going to work or not. And I feel like that's just kind of like the reality. They have a great page and marketing material, but again, I need to see it in action. That's the difference with other companies. Even Mudita, right? I'm going to use this. Okay, no. I'll update on future things later. So I'll update on future upcoming phones in a little bit. So we'll go over them in a little bit. So yes, more questions. Let's see. Okay. Jelly Star. It's a strange middle phone. Doesn't seem to take interviews or do much communication. So press release, welcome updates. Okay. No more questions. Okay, now we can move into the next section, which is upcoming phones. Yes, upcoming phones that I have been told. We already talked about minimal, kind of like updates on that. Gave them a little bit of that spotlight. And also the HMD Barbie phone, which is another one that was coming right now. So now let's talk about some upcoming late 2024 phones. Do I think that they're gonna? Oh, by the way, do I think the minimal people are going to be able to release it by September? I doubt it. I don't know if they have this engineering sample, and these like mechanisms and whatnot, and they're kind of like, if their sample is gonna be by mid-August, there's no way like certifications and all of that. If they're gonna certify, I doubt they're gonna certify, but I mean, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Can we get an update? Just posted one. Yeah. Is this still expected to ship in August? There it is. So August, I think it was the original, estimated shipping back in April, which was too optimistic in my opinion, but that's what it is. Okay. Upcoming phones. Low phone. That's the first one that I want to showcase to you guys. Low dash phone. According to their marketing is the antidote to smartphone addiction. You guys know that I don't think there's one solution for everybody, but I'm excited to see what these guys develop. So unlike other phones, low phone is intentionally designed not to demand your most valuable asset, your time. Yay, that kind of stuff. Safe for all ages, that kind of stuff. You can sign up here for more information. They are on a Kickstarter project, so this is more of something that is going to come out. And like the idea is like, hey, or what they want to do is like have the low phone, put it out there, and pretty much setting realistic expectations and talking to the community about their priorities. They only showcase one thing here. As you see, maybe you can't, in this area right here, there is a kind of like music area. And they're going to have chat apps and like stuff, and it's going to be pretty customized. So it's a customized Android. It's nothing super special. But it does have again, music, as you see right there. Some of the conveniences, pay, wireless charging, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's one that's coming. Mudita. So Mudita has released now their compact. I mean, this is a pretty big image and release, finally, I think. So the Mudita compact, more offline, more life. So this is a full-blown e-ink device that is going to be released as kind of like for efficiency and readability, and they're very advanced in the process. Let's talk about it like that. So they're very, very advanced in the process. They have the PTCRB certification, which is a certification that is needed for the device to work with Verizon, AT&T, and very well here in the United States. So it's going to be a global phone. Very good. It's going to act as an e-reader as well. So it's going to have an e-reader app at the very least. And again, my estimation, especially with the mock-up now being pretty clear to me, it's going to be like a 4-inch device or 4.5 max. So it's going to be like 4.5 inch device. They're going to have more mock-ups. So if you go to mudita.com/compact, they're going to have more mock-ups coming up, and you'll be able to get more information over time. So as you see, right, paper reading experience, library in your pocket, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Why the compact, mindful connectivity, They're coming on a Kickstarter, so they're going to be shipping it, but they are very, very far along in the engineering samples. Let's just say that they've been working on this for a long time. I'm happy that they learned from and took a lot of community feedback from the they took a lot of community feedback from the Mudita Pure, which was just not a good phone. Just to say it nicely, I guess. I'm just trying to be as nice as possible. But yeah, it was not good. It was very, very, very difficult for them. So let's just put it like that. Yeah. So it's coming up soon. Kickstarter, I expect next month and a half probably it's going to come out, and you'll be able to see the price and a lot of these things. They're going to be releasing mock-ups every 2 weeks, I believe, new mock-ups every 2 weeks, so probably one is going to drop in the next week or so. And as you see, there's only 3 more mock-ups, so 3 times 2 is 6 weeks from now. Well, maybe you'll see something. We'll be able to see what happens. I'll be updating you guys on what I can update you on. But I'm excited about having another e-ink alternative that it actually has the certifications, not like the Bigme Hibreak, which doesn't have the certifications, and it only works with T-Mobile. So that's one definitely negative thing here in the United States for that. Okay. All right. So next thing, and I see a few questions. So we'll get over Q&A too eventually, but right now we're on upcoming phones. Next phone. Light Phone 3. So the Light Phone, yes. So the team of the Light Phone has I'm updating you guys on the price. So this is the next thing of the Light Phone 3. So Light Phone 3 has sold out of their first batch, which means like you're no longer getting your January 2025 date. Now you will be getting it in February sometime. Right now the price is $499, and my estimation, I have not received confirmation of this, is that they're going to keep this price for at least 3 more months. That's what I feel. It makes sense and that kind of stuff, but I'm not 100% on this. They have this special valid price for a limited time, so it's a limited time that they haven't said when they're gonna kind of like get rid of this. But if you're looking to get a light phone and you are interested in the device and you're kind of like interested in the Light Phone 3, etc., I highly recommend that you get your device now, because it's going to continue going up until that $799. So it's $499 right now. If you got it last month around this time, it was $399. So now it's $499, and it's going to continue climbing up. So make sure to reserve yours if that's something that interests you, because it's just going to continue. It's just going to continue, like going in that direction. No, I want this in a different tab. Yes. Let me see. Yes, I'm gonna put a link in the description if you want to buy it. I'm gonna put one to the Mudita Compact as well, so you can go into the kind of like pre-release, yada yada yada. There it is. Low phone as well, so you guys can have those links. No. I don't want that to open. No, I don't need that. I don't need that open right now. Sorry, there was a tab that was open. Okay. Boom. There you go. Okay. More things. More phones that are coming up. There are some people on Reddit, especially our friend Technophobe Doro, who is developing Phobe Doro. I think that's his name. Yep, Bounce phone. So the plans are going forward. He's making a QWERTY keyboard sidekick style phone, which is the kind of like QWERTY style, like the thing that he's going to do, and he's developing a phone. I don't know why this is not opening, so let's see if it opens. And yeah, that's another phone that is technically coming out. It's like a sidekick style phone that he's trying to develop. So it's some of those things, like it's like I don't know, Reddit is having issues. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, here it is. So he's trying to develop this, and kind of keep up with his posts, maybe, on the matter. That's another one I know is something that posts. There it is. So apparently, I mean, he's from the UK, if I remember correctly, and he has had, like, currently in the middle of financing the render, company legalese. We should expect the first crowdfunding campaign to come sometime this month. So now I would say just give him the benefit of the doubt, give him 2 weeks, and then probably beginning of August, he'll have something for you guys. So there you go. Another QWERTY phone coming. The guys at Sleek.io, they're still in beta. I think they haven't sold out yet. They're at 26 out of 30 phones that have been on the beta. So they're still on that. I'm going to put the link in there. So this is a customized device that only has access to certain applications and utilities. It's carrier unlocked. And here's like kind of like how they're working it. I don't know if this is available on Dumb Wireless yet. Dumb Wireless. I don't think so. I don't think it is. But they're partnering with them. So no, not available. Okay. So Sleek.io, 333 for the beta. And you kind of can get what's included and the software. And let's see, where's the Odyssey OS page? Home, do cool stuff. My review, I guess. Thank you for embedding the review. I appreciate it. App Store, there it is. So the App Store, you can request. The eligibility criteria is we do our best to avoid including apps that don't serve an explicit communication or utility function. That means qualifying apps must properly enable communication between people or support a real life function or behavior. So that's kind of like their ethos behind their app store. So they're developing that, which is cool. It's good to see a lot of people invested. So yeah, that's all phones I think that are coming up. Let's see what else. Oh man. Let me peek. Okay. All right. There is one more, but I don't think they have a website. It's not a phone. Let's see. No, the SEO is too strong. Let's go Reddit. Let's see. Nope. Technology? Nope. So there's this launcher that it's not here. Okay. Let me see if I can find any mock-ups or from this person. Give me 1 second. I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay, let's see. Is this even live? No, it's not live anymore. Okay. No, I cannot find it. Okay, I'm gonna have to delay this one. So there is a idea of a launcher. It's called the New. I guess I can showcase it to you guys on the, let's see, there it is. So I have it on my Jelly. So this is the Jelly. This is the launcher. It's pretty basic, but here is the mindsets. So essentially the idea is, let's say you go to work and you need some apps. So the phone will automatically create a mindset that has all the apps that you need for work. And then when you come back home at a certain time period, it will do kind of like the similar thing and just remove all of the work apps and only keep the apps. So it's kind of like a customization launcher. They have this idea of the routine, right? So you're going to put your time periods, and you can change the flexibility, evening editing, Sunday editing, like the stuff that you want. You can have that kind of like, they're still developing a lot of things, but once it's live, I'll showcase that launcher. I think it's really cool, the technology that you're using and the tips they're helping people and implementing with, a lot of the different things. One more. Yes, I just remembered. Techless. Yes. So Techless Wise Phone. So the Techless Wise Phone is not, in my estimation, it's not going to meet this deadline, the summer 2024 deadline. I don't think it's going to be met. But they're still developing and they're still working on it, and you can get $50 off right now on the Wise Phone. So if you're interested in this device, it's going to have maps, camera, phone, messages, music, notes, and clock. So very basic, pretty nice. The not nice thing is that it's tied to a subscription with your carrier. So they're going to provide service for you. They're going to provide the cell phone service, and they're going to be able to allow you to use all of these tools at the same time. Not the best things, but they do have a lot of the specifications and stuff like that. And yeah, it's going to be boring. Oh, another one, boring phone. Yes. So the boring phone people are reviving their project. Too late, in my opinion, but Boring Phone 2, you can join the wait list. Here, let me put it in the chat so you can have it. And that's another option, right? So like the Boring Phone, and they did have a great phone, in my opinion. Back in the day, it was essentially a customized Android, but they had made a ROM for it, and they have that. There is another one. I don't remember the name right now. It's kind of like the same, similar idea. Intentional phone. Something like that. Like, it was something like, here, let me check. There's a lot of projects, and like some of them come to life and some of them don't. Let's see. I'm trying to see if... I don't know. I don't remember what the name was. But yeah, there is something that I wish I had the ability to remember right now. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. So I'm gonna have to deflect on this one. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. I see a few more questions. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, let's do Q&A too. Yes, enough questions. So bring in the questions. If you haven't put them there, make sure to put them there. We're starting questions at what time frame? It's 1 hour and 4 minutes. Oh my gosh. Q&A 2. Okay, let's do it. All right, Q&A 2. Let's start from the top. Let's see. Has Sleek made out announcements about the beta? No, they're still working it out. Like I showed, they still need 4 more people to fill their beta. A Nevin Ballad, so there you go. Or an even ballad. Yeah, it depends on how you read it. Yeah. Sorry if it's already asked. Any news on potential LTE version of the Bux Palma? Not on the Bux Palma, but Bigme definitely released what it's essentially a Bux Palma with the Bigme Hibreak. This works on This works on T-Mobile, so if you have T-Mobile and you're looking into a e-ink device that works in the United States, the Bigme Hibreak is your option, and it does come with color e-ink as well. So there you go. Regarding Sunbeam, do they make phones in the U.S.? Do you know their management team? Hard to find info. Strange that the company is located in rural Missouri. Seems a bit of a mystery to me. Trustworthy. Yes, they're very trustworthy. They work on their phones all the time. They're actually, super reputable. I mean, like they are not producing the phones in the United States. They do get a version of a flip phone from China, so it's a manufacturer in China, and then they make their own custom software. And the reason why they're in like Missouri is because they're like part of like the Mennonite community. So I believe it's kind of like there, and that's just their values. But no, super reputable. The CEO, interesting thing. So like the CEO has. So every time we contact, like, sometimes we contact via email, but sometimes he sends me a letter, like via the mail, and I get it and I read it and then I reply, so he's kind of like an old fashioned guy, very cool guy. Haven't had the opportunity to meet him in person. But he has written letters, kind of explaining their process or things that have happened in the company. Definitely customer support, high, very good on their, kind of like on everything that they do and the support that they give and the updates and everything. It's just, very good company. Really, really, really believe in what they're doing, and hopefully they'll continue to create the products that people need. So I think this is a follow-up, and yes, Ian, I would really like to see the Sunbeam and Kyocera flip phones in the UK. Is there any alternative I can use in the UK, preferably with WhatsApp and a bit of customization? I don't like the S22. Yes, the TT Phone 970 is probably your option. It's literally a cousin of the Sunbeam F1, so it's the same phone, the old same phone. So let's go here to screen capture right there. So this is the TT Phone 970. It's about $158, and it works with O2, EE, GIF-GAF, Vodafone 3, or no SIM card. You can get it with no SIM card. Comes out of the UK, but it's unlocked, so you can use it pretty much all throughout Europe. And you're able to customize it in whichever way you want. Highly recommended device. It's essentially a Sunbeam F1. It looks exactly like the Sunbeam F1. I mean, this is the Sunbeam F1, and this is the Pro. So, but it looks exactly the same, right? It's like very, very extremely similar. So I highly recommend that you get that for your customization. It's again the same device, just made for Europe. So Ian, this is the device for you. TT Phone 970. Yes. Hopefully that helps you. And these are the dimensions, kind of how it works. It has the LEDs, all that good stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of like my answer to you. Okay. All right. Then we have Hales. Says, what would be the best Dumbphone to transition to from an iPhone? Thanks. As I always say, it depends on you. Depends on your needs. I will highly recommend you go to a Dumbphone Finder. But some of the best Dumbphones, and I'm just going to use the Dumbphone Finder to showcase this. So depending on your needs, these are my 5 and 4-star recommendations. I'm just going to assume that you need something from T-Mobile or Verizon. So those are kind of like 2. You can go with any of these and they will be a good option. I'm actually going to downgrade this one to 3 stars. The voice ping, it's been retired essentially, and it doesn't belong there anymore. Also the Hit K1, I'm going to downgrade that too. Their support hasn't been that great, but maybe that improves. Mindful Phone, Sunbeam F1, Flick Mini, Tick Mini M5, AGM M7. These are my 4 stars and 5-star recommendations. But let's say, again, you need maps. So I'm going to assume, coming from an iPhone, you need VoLTE, you need maps, and we're going to put Google Maps, just so it's like easier. But we're also going to put here maps. Why not? And Waze, actually, that opens up a little bit more of the thing. We're going to need group text message. And let's say you also need WhatsApp. Let's just say that. You need WhatsApp. Okay, here it is. 4 and 5-star recommendations that I give to smart feature phone with apps. And phones that are kind of like necessary in that category. So Shaw Classic, Xiaomi F21, Tick Mini, Jelly, Star, Jelly 2, Jelly 2E, Cat S22, Tick Mini M5. These would be kind of like my recommendations to a certain degree based on like the information that I know about, iPhone users. But if you want something super simple, right? So like, let's go now different end of the spectrum. Let's clear these settings, these things. Okay, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to go to a 5-star recommendation, but you want to completely change your lifestyle. Ooh, what's okay, sorry. Not WhatsApp. Yeah, there it is. Light phone 2, Light phone 3. Feature phone. LG Classic. Sunbeam F1 Pro. And TCL Flip 2. These are kind of like top recommendations. And as you see, I have added the pricing as well there, so that you can see how much it costs roughly. It's definitely gonna change, and that kind of stuff. So those were kind of like my recommendations. My recommendation is the following: make a list of everything you need. Make a list of all the apps that you need, and then go and find the phone that works best for you. So yeah. So again, like you go here, you maybe go over things like that you want. Voice to text, for example, if you want voice to text, that eliminates a lot of phones. You want a nano SIM card, you want a headphone jack, that eliminates a couple of other phones. You want the phone to be, I don't know, flip phone, right? So that eliminates other phones. And you want it to have, ooh, this is weird. I don't know why that is there. Interesting. Okay, I need to fix that. You want it to have WhatsApp, then that eliminates other phones, and there you go. Freetail Retro, great device. That's another good option. Yeah. By the way, I have updated the Dumbphone Finder, and the Dumbphone Finder is now by region. So this is the North American Dumbphone Finder, but if you're in Europe, you can go to the European Dumbphone Finder. And it's a little bit different. It does have other phones that are not in the American one. Same thing for the Asian one. And same thing for the Latin American one. Still not done revising everything because, of course, it takes time and effort. And as you guys know, this is a hobby for me and something that I love to do for the community. But, it takes time. So I'll be patient with that. And if you see a mistake, please let me know. So I'll be able to fix it. Okay. Next question. Curious if your intention is to specifically focus on phones for digital minimalism, or if you are more interested in exploring all of the alternative devices that are coming out. I think for me, so I'll give you an example. I just want to explore more. My personal idea is just to help people live their best lives. But like, for example, here is the Jelly Max. Let me find the Kickstarter. I don't really think this device is for digital minimalism, personally, because it's larger. Like now they went super large. It's definitely a small smartphone, and if you are looking into the small smartphone ideas, yeah, absolutely. Let's see, why is it not? There it is, Jelly Max. Okay. So the Jelly Max is now a 5-inch device. It's not small at all, in my opinion. Definitely, it's a good device. I think it's a definitely a good device if you're looking for a small phone. But yeah, it's very thick. It's larger than the Jelly Star. It's not inconvenient anymore. So it's an alternative device, but I'm not going to cover it because I don't like the device size. And maybe it's just me, but like 5-inch screen is like this is smartphone territory. It's not difficult anymore to use and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I definitely think that I like to look into alternatives and other devices that complement a better lifestyle. That's what I focus on now. I think that's the main idea, that you and I and everybody, when you're looking for something, is lifestyle. Look at what your lifestyle is and what you want it to be, and then find the device that works best for you. So that's something. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question. If you have a follow-up, make sure to put it there. Tiffany says, with the Jelly 2 / Star, have you had any problems with app compatibility? No, not really. Most apps work. It's just a little bit more crammed. Like it's a little bit of like a different feeling, because it's like, okay, I'm not using a big, humongous device anymore. It's really small, but I haven't had any issues. I've been able to use anything. I haven't had any issues with any work apps. So I've been able to install pretty much any work app. I'm actually going to do an installation next week, kind of like help with the process. And they have like an app that I had to download to enter the premises, and it worked. So yeah, I have it. I hate downloading apps though. Like, why does it have to be an app for everything? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Why are they not building OS from scratch and have only important features and customized app store like Paytm, Google Play? I don't know what you're referring to, like Lakshya or Lakshya. Which phone are you referring to? I think you should kind of like, put it there. I think that will give me a little bit more context. Yeah. Little Velvet says, I recently got the Sunbeam Aspen and I use its hotspot with my Books Palma for things like food ordering. But besides that, I'm content to just have it alone. Good. Glad to hear. What do you think about the Palm phone as a dumb phone? There's a Reddit post about it. Yeah, I actually have a review about it, I believe. Back in the day, I did a review. I think it's a great phone for super small. The problem is the battery life. So the battery life is atrocious, if I recall correctly. Yes, I did a review on this device back in the day, back in 2021. So here it is, that review. I'm going to put it in the chat. You can get my thoughts. I think it was a great device. Problem is the battery life. There is a way to fix it. If you customize it, and you like it, I think it's a definitely a good option. Let me see, right here. So yeah, Palm Phone Review 2021 Digital Minimalist Edition. So it's kind of like I focus on digital minimalism, life mode, the cost, apps that it has, disable everything. I even say like disable everything. Alternatives, I talked about Jelly 2 at the time was an alternative. Light phone, of course, those are some alternatives for digital minimalism. But yeah, I still think it's a good device. Oh man, look at that. Same sweater. Man, this sweater, man, has been with me for a while. Look at that. Come on. Do I have the same ring too? Where's my ring? Oh, I think I haven't put it on today, but I think it's the same one. It's the blue one. Oh, that's so funny, man. Definitely look a little younger there. Many years of different things. I had not had a problem with some weight things back then, but I mean, that's life, looking back to getting back into shape, don't give up, keep going. That's the good thing. Okay. So Diaz, yeah, I think it's a good phone. Just disable everything. Try to get rid of as many apps as possible, and use it as a very basic phone, and you'll be golden. It's a very small device, so I think it's really great. Bucks unopened. We already talked about the minimal company. You can go back to the Q&A 1. So we talked about Q&A 1. 25 minutes on this live stream. We talked about it, so you can go back and check that out. Okay. Let's see. The only problem with the Palm phone nowadays is finding it. It's a little bit harder, but if you find it, it's a good phone. Amir, Hey, Jose, can we use Kyocera Dura X in the UK? Absolutely. Yes, you can. There are some posts about it. It works with 3 and with O2 as far as the testing from people. So the Kyocera Dura XV and the Kyocera Dura XA. Let's go over that because I believe the Kyocera Dura XA. So if you get it unlocked, boom, 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 boom. Here, if you get it unlocked or used, one of the two. The specs, here they are. Here are the bands: B2, B4, B5, B12, B14, and B66 for LTE. And then you have B1, B3, B4, B5 for UMTS, which is 4G HSPA plus. And of course, there are some integrated there with the 2G. And I believe the UK LTE bands, let's see, you have 20, 8, 3, 1, and 7. So 1 and 3 will connect to UMTS most likely. You probably won't get a lot of LTE, but you'll get a lot of 4G HSPA plus 3G bands within your area. So not the most optimal, but I mean, you probably already knew that because it's an imported device. Hopefully they'll be coming out with something like that is like this good, but it technically works with the UK if you import the device. And I would probably get the unlocked version. I know it says no outside of the US, but it does work with some carriers outside of the US, just FYI. Okay. More questions. Let's go. Let's see. Have you heard of the Philips E6810? Yes, I have. If I remember correctly, that device is... It's like a copy of the... yes, it's a copy of the TIC Mini M5. Yeah, there it is. So it's an Android phone. You can download apps in it and whatnot. It's very basic, and there's a Reddit thread with somebody that uses it 2 months ago. Highly recommend that you look into it. But you can use a lot of the apps and you can use a lot of the services, and it probably works better in Europe. And you can buy it from the Philips mobile store on JD.com. So yeah, it's a good phone. I think it's a copy of the Xiaomi Chin F22. And there are some other things coming up with the Chin F23. So that's something good. Okay. John 5. Options for Canada. Fido, TELUS, Rogers, etc. Well, luckily for you, I have the Dumbphone Finder for that. There are a lot of options. The Sunbeam F1 works, but you need to be more granular about the options, because what is it that you really need? So here's TELUS, Bell. Those are the two that work. This is not extensive. I don't know why, but there are more phones. Mistake here on the Dumbphone Finder. I'll be updating this today. This is the stuff that you find out when you start testing it. So Bell and TELUS, the TT Phone 970, CT symbol, but also the Nokia 800 Tough. Yes, that should work. Nokia 6300, AGM M9. I'm just kind of going through what I see. Kyocera should work. The XA should work outside of the country. Punk MP02. Cat S22 Flip definitely works in Canada. Light Phone 2 now has the TELUS certification, so now it can work. Then you have the let's view more. Nokia 2780, Nokia 2720, Cat B40, Nokia 2660, Freetel Mode 1 Retro 2. Kyocera 903KC, TIC Mini M5, Sunbeam F1 Horizon, Sunbeam F1 Pro. Mindful Phone works in Canada, Fig Mini. So you have a lot of options. They're not updated here yet, but I will update it on the Airtable for compatibility's sake. And yeah, again, I will update it with all of those carriers like TELUS, Rogers, and that kind of stuff. I know of the people that have given me the crowdsource. I have a document. I don't know why it's not working, but yeah. So I'll be kind of like looking into that this afternoon after I go on a walk and eat some food. So I'll keep check the Dumbphone Finder tomorrow, and you'll have more options there with Fido and Rogers, and kind of like compatibility in that general vicinity. Nokia 2254G, yeah, you have a lot of options, so you should be fine. But again, make a list of things that you want in your Dumbphone. Go to a Dumbphone Finder, try to find the information there. There are other tools. The Dumbphone Finder is not the only tool, of course. There's a new person trying to make a massive Google document. I thought that was cool. So check that out. It's on Reddit. And yeah, hopefully that helps. Okay, cool. All right, we're at an hour and a half or so. I can stop now, or I can continue if there are more questions. Either way is fine with me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, kind of like sending me tips and ideas and all of that. I'm working on a project. This is more like personal, but I'm working on a project. It's going to take a while, but it's just an idea I had. So, sometimes one of the biggest issues is finding apps. Let me put this as a timestamp. 127. Personal updates. Yeah. So I'm working on a project right now to help. I'm working on a project to help apps. So like Antenna Pod, which is an open source app, or maybe like a maps app, like organic maps. A lot of them are not optimized for dumb phones. So I'm working on a project right now to test one of those basic apps that I think are very important and port it to one of these flip phones, and kind of like customize it heavily so that it works best with a dumb phone. So you'll hear more of that in the future. Again, right now I don't have a lot of updates. It's kind of like very early in stages. To work with that. And I'm also working on another project that essentially it's a simple idea. It's like a text messaging interface, and you text and you get information that is actually helpful in real time. So I'll be working on that. And yeah, again, there's a lot of resources out there on the Reddit. A lot of people are like, jumping on the support and kind of like looking into that Google Doc that was just posted, I think yesterday or something like that, is a guy that is kind of like getting and gathering a lot of information. It's called the Dumbphone Anthology. I'll include the link, and he's essentially just doing the same thing that the Dumbphone Finder is, but with the like more like text-based information, and you can just like find it, Control F if you're into that. Of course, the Dumbphone Finder, as always, it has mistakes, it has things, like I'm keeping it up as long as people are telling me what's happening. But let me put that in the chat. And yeah, hopefully that helps you as well. That's like kind of like a work in progress collection that they're putting together with other users, and you can suggest if you have a phone and you have tested some of these things. So I'll be updating the Dumbphone Finder today. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate it. Without you, I would have not guessed that the Canadian options are like super limited right now, but you actually have way more options than that. So I'll be updating that with my database. And thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. On the personal front, the channel is continuing. It's slow right now in the summer, not a lot of reviews and stuff like that, but they're coming, they're trickling in. A lot of exciting stuff coming up later this year and hopefully next year. Really excited about the iPhone 3 personally. Just to test it out. I'm definitely going to keep the iPhone 2 just because I prefer the e-ink screen. But I think it's going to help a lot of people, with the camera and a lot of the stuff. We'll have probably Joe and Kai one of the two, to give us an update at some point in time in the fall. And if you know of any projects or any people that actually need support with their projects, yeah, make sure to send them my way. And I'm always willing to connect people to other people that want to make this a better space, want to make the resources better, and just want to, like, kind of like want to work with each other to help a lot of people look into taking their time back, their attention back, their lifestyle back, and creating a better lifestyle for themselves. One more thing, actually, another project that is happening. So the person, there's a teenager. I don't know if you heard, like a few years ago, she created like a Luddite club. So the Luddite Club is essentially an organization that she's, I think, creating and kind of like looking into like projects, meetings, that kind of stuff. Logan Lane, she was the girl that started it back in the day. And we're a team of former screenagers turned nonprofit, equipping young people with the practical tools to responsibly navigate the current and future digital landscapes themselves. So if you want to get involved, get their newsletter and whatnot, yeah, check it out. Go check it out. And it's super important to kind of like support and do all the kind of stuff. If you have any questions, concerns, and whatnot, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be interacting with you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.